So I've been seeing a lot of videos circulating about how Spotify just took down 15,000 artist tracks, about 750,000 individual tracks in total, and how a great many of those playlists are still up, and the just absolute controversy this has caused in terms of artists feeling wrong to haven't invested in intentionally bad promotion, and then all these promoters and social media guru people defending Spotify, talking about it from a business perspective. And there seems to just be a lot of friendly fire going on here from Spotify, just absolutely devaluing indie artists. So I want to talk about my perspective, because out of all those people, I'm confident that I was one of the only ones who reported themselves. So since I've not seen anybody talk about that, I wanted to give some insight into the situation, especially since I regret doing it, which you might be thinking, yeah, bro, I would regret reporting my fake streams as well, but it's not that simple. So, hey, my name is Isaac. I definitely recommend you check out the About section for the channel. This is a new channel. However, I'm hardly new to the music scene. I've been working full-time in music the past year and a half or so. Before that, I was a game developer. I presented at E3 in 2013 when I was only 21. And in fact, those videos are still up if you want to cringe at me looking like a brony when I used to hate myself. They're under Isaac at E3 Frozen Pixel. Yikes. Anyway, I got into music during 2 years of homelessness. In my mid-20s, my life just absolutely fell apart, and I'm not going to get completely into that. That's why I wrote music about it. It was too complex. It was too difficult to try to explain to people, and it was overwhelming. So I wrote a song during those 2 years of absolute hell. By the time I finally got back home and I was getting my bearings, I was like, you know what, this song is pretty emotional. I'd love to make it into a full studio thing. And when I did that, it was my intention that I was going to, it sounds so angsty. I was like, you know what, I think I'm done with life. Life is kind of stupid. So I just want my family to have one thing of value to show people once ya boy has yeeted from this plane of existence. If people are like, oh, I'm so sorry, that you lost your son or your whoever the hell he was to you. And, oh, he made a song. Oh, shit. That's actually pretty good. That's sad. It would make it more impactful, Like people would hear the song that's good and go, damn, it's unfortunate. Loss is always unfortunate. I wanted my family to have an easier time expressing it because I myself, that's one of the reasons why my life fell apart. So that being said, I made it, and then I started pitching the track to Music X-Ray, Broad Jam, and all those kind of places. And I got with an A&R company out of New York. I started getting on the radio. I started getting motivated to make more music. And after that full year, I had about 5 hours of original content. I had dozens of songs and EPs and albums. I had been featured on giant YouTube channels like Rumi Official and had praise from producers like Butch Vig. I was getting music pitched to Netflix. I was talking to some of the biggest people you could possibly think of. I spoke to UMG on the phone. You would think I had it made, but no. My streams over 10 months capped out at about 6,000 for that one first track, largely from my own promotion through Omari. So thank you, Omari, for getting me those 6,000 streams when I was piss poor and already with a label who didn't do anything. It's not, Omari's legit. I just, my bitterness can be, pretty clear here. Getting on Rumi didn't do a damn thing for me. I capped out at about 150 subscribers from that. Like, I tell people all these accomplishments and they're like, I don't know. You're not rich and you don't have a following. You sound like a posing sack of shit. So after those 10 months and only getting 6,000 streams, I was like, okay, I should start promoting my music because obviously it's good, right? I have the validation, just not from social media. You might be thinking numbers don't matter. They fucking matter, guys. Like they matter to the point in people deeming your quality, deeming your relevance. That's why UMG didn't pick me up. I didn't have high enough numbers. I was a ghost town. The music was not a part of the discussion. It was the fact that I was irrelevant. That's their words. So you think your numbers don't matter, you're doing some fake humble bullshit. They matter a lot. That's numbers are like the only thing that really matter here, which is sad and unfortunate, but that's why good music falls under the radar and bad music that's been pushed enough can get a record label deal. So for 3 months, I was doing ads, email campaigns, and using sellers on Fiverr and stuff. And I got one bad Fiverr seller. Clearly, I was layering my promotion 3 tracks at a time, rotating them week to week, and I could track back where this fake playlist came from specifically. So I reported the seller to Fiverr, and he's since been removed as far as I'm aware. He might be back under a different account. I only got about 10,000 plays for that week, so it's not like it's, even something that like made or broke my profile. I decided to write Spotify for artists myself. And I was like, hey, what's up? I got put on a clearly bot playlist, so I'm coming to you guys myself in hopes that we can get ahead of this. I even offered to forfeit an entire royalty cycle, even from all of my otherwise organic streams. We're talking nearly 50,000 streams I was willing to forfeit for 3 months in total to let them know I was serious about this. I wrote them a page of like pleading and all they said was, thanks for making us aware of this. We're here if you need us. Then 2 weeks later, they yeeted me from they yeeted that song anyway. Along with 2 others that got put on the same playlist. So like, this is an example to me about how they're just a greedy corporate sack of shit, because people are saying that, like, oh, it's, they can't know if it's your fault or not. It's like, look, literally, if it's about the money, right? If it's fraud because you're taking money you don't deserve, and I've offered to forfeit that money and the stream counts, that negates your argument. They don't care. Like, you guys need to really wrap your head around it. Spotify is the problem here. I've seen some companies talk about how, like, oh, it's the record labels that are controlling Spotify. You guys need to fuck off with that shit. Like, seriously, Spotify's the issue because they're the only platform dealing with this to this extent. You don't hear about Apple removing nearly 1 million tracks every quarter. You don't hear about all these artists getting banned from Apple because Apple has a system set up that is not nearly as prevalent to this bullshit. Spotify has made a platform where con men flood to the scene. Why is that not Spotify's fault? Why is it 100% on you as the artist, regardless if you're taking advantage of the system or not? They don't care. Like, you guys really need to wake up to the fact they don't care about you. Nobody cares about you at this point. Like, the only people that care are directly associated to your life and your fan base who have told you so themselves. Otherwise, nobody cares about you. I feel that's healthy. We shouldn't all care about literally everybody. Now, my point with this is that the music industry is just disgusting. Now, it's always been disgusting, but this just kind of proves to me that, we're not talking about a good song. I love how, like, a lot of these YouTubers like to say, like, oh, well, first and foremost, you have to have a good song. Like, hell you do. Since when has that ever been a requirement? That's why, literally, UMG told me on the phone, if you ever wonder, dude, why music that sucks gets picked up, it's because people have paid for it to be relevant. They have people in higher places, or they got rich dads, or whatever the case may be. They know someone who knows somebody. And then you hear this song on the radio that you're like, what the heck? What is this? Because of connection, not because of quality. You are probably the most naive person on the planet if you think that quality is what makes your music career. Wake up, man. It hasn't been like that since, like, ever. Now, there are times that people invest in potential and stuff, but, you got to think, even like Queen, the reason that they were getting such support is because of the money pouring in. If the songs were crap and the money was pouring in, that would not have changed the outcome of how the labels viewed them. So what's really telling to me about this thing with Spotify is that doing the right thing did nothing but harm me. There was a time where I was like really considering the last week to just like ordering as many fake plays as I could just out of spite. Now, that doesn't help anything. So I didn't do that. But an issue that I realized that has happened here is that I could get any track that I wished banned from Spotify. You could too. You could get my music banned if you wish. All you got to do is make a little sock puppet DistroKid account, upload some clearly crap to it that you've never uploaded elsewhere, and that you have the rights to upload. And then, make a playlist. You put your song on the playlist. You put people's songs on the playlist that you don't like for whatever reason. You order a bunch of low-quality Indian bot plays, or bot plays from India might have been the better way to phrase that. But you would only need $50 to $100 to get, tens of thousands of low-quality streams. And then you could just write Spotify for Artists from your sock puppet account and say, hey, what's up? I just got like 10,000 streams from this playlist and I didn't get a single follower or save or anything. Could you let me know if this playlist is legit? Then your elbow will crack and then they will look into it and they'll be like, oh, that's not legit. And they'll take down every track on the playlist. This is the system that Spotify has set in place. This is not something that you could accomplish on Apple Music. This is not something you could easily accomplish on Amazon. The culture has been set up for fraud to take place on Spotify, to the point that the Rolling Stone has covered Sony literally doing the same thing at a level where they make millions, and those songs are all still up. At the end of the day, it saves Spotify money for people like that, or companies like that, to be making their money outside of the label component because they pay a lower rate to people who are not at the label. It also means that Spotify keeps more of their 30% cut as a whole when it's being spread so thin among everybody else. It's really unfortunate that the problem is not the fake plays, it's that Spotify itself actually endorses fake play bullshit. One of the reasons that they've blown up so big, you got to realize this is a singular service software company that has managed to edge out Apple at its own game. And your elbow pops again. That's how serious it is. I'm old, by the way. I'm getting old, so I don't have the emotional space for this bullshit. But you got to just slow down a second and realize that a company that offers one thing was able to do that one thing better than one of the biggest software and hardware companies in the world, man. They were able to do it better. Why were they able to do it better? They got more users. Why did they get more users? The free account component. And the ability for fake plays to boost the statistics of Spotify. You realize Spotify benefits from this more than anybody. This is why that, the whole infrastructure of streaming in general is that the same song is worth the same little fractions of a cent no matter how long or what the quality is. Sony has been found to have made a playlist of nearly 1,000 tracks that are just like thunder sounds and like a meditative track that could, have been 3 hours on YouTube, and they just cut it into minute-long bits so that they got that sweet, sweet ad revenue every single play on a playlist that you're meant to just let roll and keep playing, because it's really not a bunch of 1-minute tracks. It's one giant-ass movie-length long track that has been just cut up over and over. And you got to remember, this has been reported by the Rolling Stone. It's not that they're unaware of it. It's that they're benefiting off of this. Sony has also been found to be making fake artists that don't have any social medias and employing people under their own production houses to make music that then they boost to the absolute ends of the earth to get a collective, many billions of plays so that they can profit off of it and not have any of the overhead of managing an artist. These tracks are all still up. So I hope you guys realize that this is a little more complicated than a lot of other people are trying to let on. There's a lot of stuff I want to cover here. I cannot even begin to give you the mountain of bullshit that I've had to deal with from the industry. And it's all from a lot of really reputable places that you've probably heard of, or you wouldn't even think to second guess. Things do not work how they seem. The Planetary Group is one of my go-to examples because they've been doing this for like 20 years, 25 years. It's a long time. They helped Katy Perry get a lot of her traction. One of their bread and butter ways of promotion is through college radio. They still openly admit it on their website that college radio is the way that they really try to promote people. The issue with that is that it's not 1996 Planetary Group, it's 2021. Or it was 2019 when I wrote you, and 2020 when I wrote you again. They promote people like it's 1996. They take $1,200 a month to rotate one song on college radio. They like to boast numbers that really don't mean what they make them out to mean, where they'll say that, though there's 800,000 listeners a month on this station, or there's, 80,000 or 250,000. Great. Yeah, that's probably true. That's true. What does that convert to for you? How many people go to follow your Spotify? How many people stream your Spotify? You got to realize, for someone like me who had thousands of radio spins and was featured on giant ass places and got praise from huge people, I never got a single stream directly from the songs that got promoted on radio. That 6,000 came from Omari. I had another song that I never promoted at all that I made with my mother of all statements to just casually throw in here. It never got a stream. It got like 20 streams over that first year, and that's because she sent it to her friends. That song was supposedly all over Christian radio. Never got a single stream. I also never got paid out for the spins on those. So there's so much crap. So much crap. There's even a famous producer who's lying to people about his service. Like, for me, I come from a game development background, and it would be like if I told you I would charge you $3,000 to make you the website of your dreams, and then you later found out I was using WordPress and a Divi template, and you could have done it yourself. Or realistically, I should have only charged you like $100. There are famous people in the music industry doing this same kind of thing with music mastering services, where they'll say that they're mastering your song and they just throw it through Cloud Bounce or something along those lines. And I'm going to be dropping their names at later dates and peeling the curtain, or whatever the hell the metaphor would be, so you guys can see what's going on here. As far as Spotify, yeah, clearly the problem is Spotify. Because even someone like me, who offered to forfeit the air quote fraudulent streams alongside their legit streams, 3 whole months of royalties, it didn't make a difference. They're on this power trip over here, and they're really digging the hole deeper to push people to Apple. And in my opinion, I would let go of promoting your Spotify altogether and just start focusing on other places. Anyway, stick around for more stuff, and let me know if you have any questions or things you want to know about the industry, because I've seen it up close and it's made me want to vomit.